After completing the pressure setup, we will now go into the flow setup. So if you're on your home screen, you select the wrench. We go into flow. The first thing that we'll do is the flow meter setup. Meter 1 type will be set to correction. Meter 1 minimum we usually set to 5 gallons per minute, or whenever the flow is less than 5 gallons per minute through the flow meter, we'll use the pressure sensor and the duty cycle and speed to calculate the flow rate, which is more accurate than the flow meter at that point. Meter 1 calibration, you need to go find what's on your flow meter tag and enter that number in pulses per 10 gallons. Flow meter error limit, we just leave that set to 50%. Default, no need to change. Specific gravity, leave that at 1, no need to change. Meter 2 type, so meter 1 type is your product flow meter, or the flow meter that's metering the product coming out of your boom. Meter 2 is always going to be your fill flow meter, so we always leave meter 2 as transparent type. It has a 0 gallon per minute minimum threshold. Again, you need to go to your fill flow meter, get the flow meter calibration number off of the tag, and enter that number in pulses per 10 gallons in this meter 2 calibration field. Meter 2 error limit, again, leave that at 0. Specific gravity, leave it 1. 11, it doesn't matter. Preset rate average, leave it to average. Flow sense resistor, leave that to pull down. And there is no tank sensor, so it does not need to be calibrated. So now that we've got our flow meter values and settings in, we'll go into the control tuning. Typically, the default values are good here. So system gain of 1, proportional integral differential gain set to 5, 1, and 0. 0 gallons per minute for the deadband, and a nozzle PWM cycle time of 4. If the rate control is slow to get on rate, you can increase the system gain to make it faster. If it is overreacting or overshooting the rate, you can decrease system gain to slow that down. That's typically the only adjustment you would have to consider on the flow control tuning. So the last field on here is display duty cycle or rate. Currently this field is set to rate. So if we go to our home screen, we can see that this right here says gallons per acre, and the actual applied rate is going to be displayed in this field at that time. If we go back to the wrench and back into flow, and we change this from rate to duty cycle, you can see that gallon per acre turns to DC, and you can see the duty cycle of the valves that are operating when we have that set to DC mode.